Hello everyone and welcome to the 60X Business Show. My name is Kitumaini and together with my guest, we will have different conversations about business, entrepreneurship and life. This is the show you've been waiting for. Stay tuned. Today's conversation, my guest is the co-founder of SLP Home, which is an interior design company focusing on quality and customer satisfaction. And in the studio today, she's London Liz Muizer. Liz, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you for having me.
How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
I'm so happy to have you on the show.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. So relax, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fun.
Okay.
On the 60X, you're gonna spin the wheel and randomly we select a number and from there I'll ask you a question. Over to you.
Alrighty.
Let's see which one gonna be your lucky number.
It's 6.
6, wonderful. Can you tell us, growing up, who is Liz, growing up as a kid, what were your dreams and passion?
I think growing up as a kid, I was a creative person, but I don't think I knew that was creativity from the start. I was a very inquisitive child. I was very curious. I wanted to understand what grown-up people are doing, what they're thinking about. So I believe that's who I was. But also at the time, I think most of us, when we were growing up, our parents were telling us, don't ask too many questions. Don't poke your nose in grown-up people's businesses. And I think that kind of like stopped some of the creativity that probably I could have discovered. I could have turned into an artist, I believe. That's what I feel like, because I used to like drawing, singing. Maybe I would have developed another artistic ability. But I think, I'm on the right path where I am today.
Wonderful. That is really amazing. Yeah. As you heard from Liz growing up as a kid, she was really a creative person, and that basically what led her to co-found our current business. And talking about entrepreneurship, can you tell us your moment in time when you realized that entrepreneurship is really my thing?
Yeah, I don't think there was a specific day or time. I believe that it was life experiences and my career journey that kept pushing me to this moment. I also, the way my management style, the way I used to like to work, I like an agile management system. I like people to encourage environments where people can be creative. If I want to work at night, or if I'm a night owl, why do you call me to come to the office at 7, for instance, if that's not going to enhance my creativity? So I believe those small frustrations that I used to have in the corporate environment that propelled me to, think of creating my own thing and say, this is a system that I believe would work and this is how I'm going to implement it in my company. I believe that's how it worked.
That is really great. Let's spin the wheel for another round of questions and see what's going to be your next lucky number. About 6. Let's hold it to arms.
7.
7, wonderful. How do you see the Rwanda creative sector when it comes to interior design evolving and changing over time?
I believe that this is the time for it. If you look 4 years ago, there are so many companies that wanted to introduce the concept, but they were having challenges because the mentalities, people were not ready for it. But when I look at today, today's mentality, people have, not the majority, but a lot of people have evolved from that thinking of just basic needs to now they have some homes and they've built, some of us have built houses. So people are now looking at, I need to have a better home, or if I'm building a commercial building with the standards of the city, you have to change so many things. The city is growing really fast. So this is the time where the mentality is growing, and especially when it comes to design, people are understanding the trends. They're ready for the change that interior design is bringing, I believe.
And COVID is really helping people perception about making their home more beautiful.
Definitely.
With online meetings, with people's needs their background to look a little bit prettier and nicer. How did you take advantage of all that to help grow more of your clientele?
Actually, what you just said is correct. Our business started, the business idea started last year, but our operations actually started in June this year, right after the lockdown. And most of our clients, so basically what we did, we decided to turn the lemons into lemonade, and we decided to start working on our business strategy. We started working on our social media marketing. And by the time the lockdown was lifted the first time, people were ready to start ordering, people were ready to start giving us orders to revamp their homes. And we realized that some people who probably don't spend so many hours at their home were found, surprised to now stay at home for maybe 2-3 months, and you start understanding, oh, my house doesn't look that pretty, I need to change this and that. And that was an advantage for our business actually to start right after COVID, I think.
Wow. Yeah. That's so beautiful. And talking about entrepreneurship, you started your business last year, but as you said, your operation really picked up during the pandemic. How does it feel being an entrepreneur?
It feels great. It feels like you're now the captain of the boat, but it has a lot of challenges as well, COVID being one of them, because again, people are struggling with working capital. We are struggling with working capital as well, but we were also lucky to find alternatives, with institutions that are offering, aid to startup capital for startup capital, and also companies that were struggling. There's so many organizations that were able to support entrepreneurs. So that is a plus. However, it still comes with challenges. It's a bumpy road, but a beautiful journey, I would say.
It's a bumpy road, but a rewarding journey, beautiful at the end of the tunnel. Let's spin the wheel for another round of questions. Okay. 6, 7. Let's see what's going to be your next lucky number.
It's a 10.
It's a 10. Awesome. We still in the pandemic. A lot of businesses have been affected, and including yours, I believe. What are the challenges that you've seen running your company during the pandemic, and how are you solving those challenges?
So specifically for our industry, like I said, it's except the fact that most of our clients, even though they would like to hire our services or buy our products, they don't have the money because, again, their businesses are probably not functioning at the moment. The other challenge as well is the challenge of raw material because the borders are closed. So, for instance, most of the things that, like the woodworks, we don't get the quality that we were expecting. Orders take longer. Things that were supposed to be shipped from abroad, some raw material that were coming from Dubai or China, you find now you can't deliver your orders. And all those things also affect the supply chain and also the customer service, because a person might just decide to buy something that's a cheaper quality, but because they're able to immediately access it. Whereas when you come to my company, you have to place an order, and then we start working through the process of that supply chain that is taking longer. So for us, that's been, except the issue of working capital, which we managed to find a creative way around. We're having now a very big issue of raw material accessing or reaching to us in a timely manner.
And talking about the supply chain and raw material delay, which is a real problem for most made in Rwanda businesses.
Definitely.
What do you think can be some potential long-term solution to tackle that for business to survive in the long run?
So this is something we're still studying because in our business model, we still want to have almost 80% made in Rwanda products. But even if it's made in Rwanda, the raw material are still coming from neighboring countries. So in the instance of the woodwork that I was talking to you about, with the rarity of wood, we now exploring possibilities of working with, I believe it's called Rwanda Forestry Authorities, to see now if we can start going into harvesting, forest harvesting, if that's the correct term. And this is something that we feel could be a long term, because in our vision, we're looking in the next 5 years to have the biggest furniture store in the country, with employing about 200 people. So if we're looking at that kind of big vision, we also have to be very creative in the way we tackle the challenges that we have on the current market. And this is something we're still thinking, and we're still trying to find solutions with local authorities as well to see how we can resolve that.
Wow, that is really amazing. And my follow-up question, running your company, what are the things that you've learned during along the journey that you had no clue about some years back?
The first thing is patience pays. So when you're starting up a business, you have to have your expectations low. Even though you're very much ambitious, you're not supposed to expect for things to pick up right away. Another challenge as well that you're going to find is outsourcing. So in our industry, for instance, there's a lot of outsourcing because you can't have all the skills in-house. There's also a challenge of partnership. When you start a company with various partners, you have to understand things the same way. You have to be aligned towards the same goal. But I also noticed that there's one thing, a common challenge in companies that have partners, is that you don't have the same philosophy about revenue making and your expenses and return on investment. And all those are challenges that were kind of surprising to me that I didn't see when I was working for other people, but that are also interesting because I'm learning every other day.
Wow, that's really beautiful. Let's spin the wheel for another round of questions.
Okay.
You got 6, 7, 10. Let's hold the drums and see your next lucky number.
It's an 8.
It's an 8. Wonderful. And do you see interior design to be in every home, a must, or it's a need now for luxury people who have money, or is it a need for all the home to be beautifully decorated, where they can look attractive according to each one's taste?
That's a good question. I think this is a question that we've always, I remember when we were developing our business strategy and we were all the time trying to answer the question, who's our target market or who's our target clientele? And we decided to target the middle class because we realized that most of the companies that were doing interior design were not targeting the middle class. And the only way to do it is to understand how to manage that supply chain to lower your production cost. Like I said, now raw material, if we manage to find a solution where we're able to find raw material locally, that helps us to curb that gap. So there are things that we're studying, but definitely our target clientele is middle class, because we want to make sure that that perception is changed, like the one that you're mentioning, where interior design is for people who of a certain level. Another approach that we're also using to reach a bigger part of the population is also educative. So we're trying to teach them the trends of interior design, the simple things that you can do with what you have at home, how you. A simple thing like changing a color can actually have a great impact on the outlook of your home. So advisory services like those, and we're also planning to start working with upcoming talent, youth, people who want to get into the creative industry so that they can be, advocating for this. So I believe that it's not really a luxury. It might seem so, but our target is to make sure that even people who can't afford that much, at least understand the basic things that you can do to make your few flowers, things that you can do, spin, color, things like that, and yeah.
Wow,
That's it.
amazing. As you heard from Liz, on top of the interior design services that they provide, there are also some education that they also provide on top of that, value added, so that you can understand all those fundamentals together. And if you just join the conversation, my guest is Liz Wiza, who is the co-founder of SLP Home, and it's an interior design company. And if you like your home to look different whenever someone walks in or tastes different, just go and check out SLP Home. And my follow-up question, there are a lot of competition in the industry. There are a lot of people doing interior design. What makes your company different?
So the good thing about the creative industry is that everyone is unique on their own. It's more like I wouldn't stop singing because there's so many upcoming artists, or I might be doing R&B, you're doing pop, and so it's the same thing with design. We might be following certain trends, but we have different techniques, and also for us, I think what we're focusing on is, first of all, understanding the style of our client. We don't want to impose. So if I like a rustic style, or if I like a very industrial with things exposed, like my ceiling is open and that specific style, I don't want to impose it to you. I want to understand exactly, and then bring your personality in the decor that I bring to your home or your office or other places. So that's one unique factor. The second thing is we are also trying to handle the operation, so the production cycle of furniture and other construction material that we're trying to be able to produce here, is what I think makes a difference, because at the end we'll be able to deliver our services at a cheaper price.
Wonderful. You really convinced me, so you got a customer.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful.
That's great.
So what are as an entrepreneur, you've been growing your company since last year. What are the challenges that you've encountered in the journey of growing your business that became some of the lessons learned helping you move forward?
I think, like I was saying earlier, it's first of all learning to be very, very patient, because the challenges are many. So one of the biggest challenges that we faced was we were not aware of the scarcity of raw material. Simple things like threads or ropes or a certain type of wood. You're not able to get them here, and that was a very big challenge. So we had to think creatively to change even our design style to be able to at least use what we have locally. So that was one challenge. But the second thing also, like I said, that we learned was working capital is never the problem. A lot of people will tell you, I'm scared to start my business because I don't have money. I don't think my company will grow because there's no money. Every time is money, money, money. But when we started our operation, we were so much surprised that it was more about the passion. It was more about how much we're willing to put in. It was more about how many times we're willing to follow up on our customers, how much time we're willing to invest in research, developing our strategy, our marketing strategy, that actually was worth more than the startup capital. So that's why I feel for me that's another lesson learned. And also now learning how to manage your operating cost, limiting outsourcing processes as well, try to manage a lot of things in-house if you want people to be happy. Otherwise, interior design is going to remain a thing of luxury, and it's not supposed to be.
Wow, you painted something very, very interesting that you learn doing along the journey, which is like, money is not always the problem, and your customers are very, very key.
Definitely.
When you understand your customers, when you understand your product offering or your solution out there, and you design it in a way that the customer embraces it, love it, are attracted to you, then those customers will themselves enable you to acquire more resources, because I always believe that the best investor in a business are your paying customers.
Definitely.
If you have a product that you get 2 customers today, the next month you build, you learn from the process, and then you go from 2 customers to 5 customers to 10 customers. There are a lot of learnings that you acquire, and then you growing your revenues, you growing the money that comes in your business. And if you have 100 customers that are paying you on time, there is no dates. You breaking even. You reaching your sales targets. Why would you need investors who will come and be on top of your head and ask equity in your business while you were able to build your business just with your customers? And that's how you build legacy businesses that can last over time. You touch on something that are very, very important and that are very, very dear to entrepreneurship when it comes to growing a business. We'd like to get to know more of the deep side of Liz. What motivates you every day to go to work when you wake up from your bed and you go and do the job that you do?
So like you just mentioned, I believe that customers don't buy your products, they buy why you sell the product, or they buy your story. So I think what motivates me is waking up knowing that I'm going to be part of something great. So when I look at the vision that we have of building one of actually the largest furniture store, if not in Rwanda, probably in East Africa, that's the vision. And that vision makes me wake up in the morning with, a lot of leap of faith. And also, the other thing is also what we're trying to do, how we're trying to empower the youth, the people that we want to work with, how we want to revolutionize the creative industry is something that really, really, really motivates me a lot.
Wonderful. Are you trying to become the IKEA of East Africa?
You got it spot on.
Wonderful.
That's actually before we started defining the vision, we were like, okay, we don't know exactly what our vision is, but let's say become IKEA.
Wonderful. That is really great. And I know you have all the potential and you have the capability to reach there. And let's hope we'll be very, very happy in the next coming 10, 15 years when we wake up and we reach that destination.
Yeah.
How would you define, as a business leader and entrepreneur, how would you define success?
I believe success, to me, I define success in 4 ways. Number 1, happiness, feeling content. And feeling content doesn't mean I have it all, but appreciating what I have. And then the 3rd factor is being able to give back. I believe that if I've learned something, I reached where I am today because somebody else lifted me up. Someone gave me a skill, someone mentored me. So if I'm able to give back what I have, then I feel like I've reached success. And I feel like, actually, it's those 3 things, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And if you could start over in business, making money, which business would you start and why?
I actually wanted to venture. I still think I will. So it's not about starting up. It's something that I will do in the future. I am self-coaching to get to that level. I want to become a business coach. I feel like there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there. Like I said, that's how I define success, being able to give back. So if I manage to learn from the journey, then definitely business consulting will be very fulfilling to me. I can have a business show, a talk show like this one, where, I'm teaching, and I'm not only teaching, learning a lot from people, sharing, but also receiving a lot. I believe that's a business that I would do and still find a lot of joy in doing that.
Wonderful. I'll be happy to have our next Oprah for Rwanda, who's gonna be our next Lisa for Rwanda, who's gonna disrupt, not only inspire, learn, educate the next generation of either business leader or whichever industry or focus that we'll be in. My follow-up question would be, how are you preparing yourself now to the bigger vision that you're having?
That personal vision or the bigger vision of the company?
Let's look at both. Let's start with the company, then your personal vision.
So for the company, like I said, the first thing that we're applying is understanding our clientele. So we're doing research every day. We're trying to understand what triggers the Rwandan person to believe in interior design. And I believe we're getting there. We're starting to understand, because with the approach that we have with our customers, we're getting there. So I think the next step is now to understand how to tackle all the challenges that we have around our supply chain, and also keep learning, developing skills internally, keep expanding as well. So I think that's how we're going to get there. But as far as myself, that vision that I want to reach, I think I'll get there by simply learning from people, like I'm learning from you today. Also being patient. I think this is one key lesson I've learned from the time I started the business. Patience pays. Otherwise, if you're not patient, there's so many things that will, disrupt your faith, your belief in the company or the business where you're going. So you have to be patient and keep thinking. If I don't have an answer today, tomorrow is another day. I'll get it. Yeah,
wonderful, wonderful. As you've had, patience is very, very important, especially in the business world. It's really a balance because the journey is full of uncertainties, and you need to be patient. Thinking about your vision, thinking about the end goal that you're trying to achieve, and then through along the journey, be always patient. And I would like to ask you, Liz, for young entrepreneurs watching now, either in Rwanda or any other African country, what are like top 3 advice that you can give to them based on your experience running your company?
So the first one will be believe in yourself. You can do it. Don't let people make you feel like you're not good enough. Invest in yourself, educate yourself, learn, read, ask a lot of questions, really. And then the third thing is have that desire and passion to grow. Follow your passion, but also you have to want to grow, to leave a certain point to another.
Wonderful. So believe in yourself, invest in yourself, and have that passion and desire to grow. Yeah. Wonderful. Those are like the 3 amazing learnings and advices. Let me wrap up this conversation with my last question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Wonderful. For a young girl watching this interview now, trying to find her way in life, what would you tell her?
So, like I said, when I was growing up, being inquisitive, being curious, I was told this is not the right way. This is not the right way of a girl. You need to remain tidy. You're not supposed to talk. Today, I want to encourage that young girl to be herself. Be yourself, and also, if you feel like there's a passion burning in you, ask people, ask them to, help you discover. If you feel like I used to like drawing, I wish I had pushed. I wish I had asked people until I see where it takes me. So I believe that young girls have to be allowed to be who they are. First of all, you need to allow a child to be a child, but also you have to nurture that creativity in them. You have to nurture whatever a kid is showing at a very young age, and especially young girls. Because I believe that young boys, we let them play. We feel like it's okay for boys to explore, to do everything around. But when you're a young girl, they want to push you to be very responsible at an early age. And that level of responsibility, sometimes you're not yet ready. You're not yet ready to learn how to be responsible. You just want to explore everything you feel inside of you. So I believe that the young girl looking at or watching this show today should believe in herself and say, you know what? I want to be who I want to be. Today, I want to be me.
Wonderful. For young girls watching this conversation, as you heard from Liz, just believe in yourself and just be you, because you've got all the potential to become whoever you're going to be in your life. So we are coming to the end of this conversation, and my guest was Liz Mwiza, who is the co-founder of SLP Home, which is an interior design company focusing on passion to serve better their clients. Thanks a lot for making it to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. The conversation continues on social media using the hashtag 60xbusiness. Remember to tag me. My handle is @Kitumaini. Till next time, remember to wear your mask, be safe, wash your hands, and I see you down the road.